Let's see how risk analysis will help in minimizing the risk in the environment. First, we'll locate the sensitive data and take action on it. Second, we'll see how to identify overexposed data, fix user permissions. And in the end, we'll see how risk analysis will help in identifying the data sprawl in the environment. Let's start with Commvault Command Center and select Sensitive Data Governance under Risk Analysis. Most organizations have data spread across multiple environments, so when we look at different data sources, such as file server, Exchange, and SharePoint, risk analysis allows us to find vulnerabilities across different data sources simultaneously. For this demo, I have a file server that has been scanned for data analysis. I can search for any data pattern I am interested in. For instance, you can look for Social Security numbers and identify the risks based on the owner and file type. One of the potential threats in this environment is exposure to files containing passwords, as passwords are often shared between different users via files. There are 16 files containing passwords belonging to the IT and Finance department. Let's review the files before taking action on it. We preview a file to confirm whether it contains password information, and this one definitely does. Let's check one more. And this file has a very strong password. Now that I have a list of the suspected files, I'll select these two files to delete. I'm going to request a workflow to force a review and approval before the files are deleted. The reviewer and approver will get an email to approve or deny the request. I may not want to delete the file. If so, I have options. I can move the files to a new location. I can also quarantine the files for later action or archive it for compliance regulation. Let's take a look at a second scenario to identify overexposed sensitive data. Here, there are more than 200 files containing Social Security numbers that everyone has access to. It's important to lock down the overexposed, sensitive, or business-critical data to reduce the data exfiltration. To fix the permissions on these files, I'll go to Entitlement Manager under Risk Analysis. I'll select the data source and use the filters to get a list of files containing Social Security numbers and is accessible by everyone. Please note that filters based on entities are only available when the data is being analyzed for sensitive data. I'll select the file to block permission for everyone, and I'll also change the authenticated user's permission from Modify to Read Only. Once the changes are applied, the Everyone user will have no access, and the authenticated user will have write-only permission. Sometimes, faulty permission changes can cause an application to fail. Having an option to undo the changes or revert the permission point back in time will give the flexibility to restore the application. I'll select the Revert this activity option and undo the changes for authenticated users. The changes will be reverted, and I can go to the Permission activity to check all of the changes. The Entitlement Manager can also fix the permission at the folder level. Lastly, let's see how risk analysis can help you control data sprawl. Here, I have multiple file servers configured. Risk analysis gives the overall size of the environment and general information. Let's click into one of the data sources. You can see that it gives us insight about the size of the data, file ownership, and file types specific to that data source. 50,000 plus files are shown, but there are 21,000 files which haven't been modified in the last 5 years. I can now do remediation in bulk, delete, move, or archive, all while including a review workflow. Let's switch to look at the File Ownership dashboard. This gives insight about the ownership based on the employee group, department, and owner name, broken down by file type. Another potential threat in the environment are orphaned files left behind from former employees. These files can create additional entry points for attackers to gain access into the system. File duplicates is the last section we'll show, as it creates another potential point of vulnerability and added risk to the environment. Remediation of duplicate files can also be done in bulk, filtered by size, and by modified time. Risk analysis minimizes risk in the environment that comes from day-to-day use. It helps to locate sensitive data, identify overexposed data, and reduce the data sprawl in the environment.